Krishna. So, welcome everyone to this wonderful Bhagavad Gita reading session. And last week we covered chapter number 4. We started chapter number 4. First verse we saw with a little bit of introduction. Okay, that what is chapter 4 all about. Those who missed that session, I would strongly recommend that please go back and watch that video once again. And today we are going to cover two verses, Sloka number 2 and Sloka number 3. So, before we get started, I would like to perform some pranam mantras. Those who know can repeat after me. Those who don't, just listen to it very intently because listening is also very, very purifying. ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान सहगण ललिता श्री विशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीन बंधु जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधा कांत नमस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः नमो महावदान्याय कृष्ण प्रेम प्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्ण चैतन्य नामिने गौरत्विषे नमः नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण पृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे मुखं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरि यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं परमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरं हरि ओम तत्सत्. Okay, so a wonderful, two wonderful shlokas are going to come up today. So we will try to read them. We will try to analyze them. Okay, but before that, just we'll try to see uh, some like we'll try to recapitulate like where we stopped last time, and the entire context will go through it once again. Okay. So in the previous sloka, we saw that how the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is eternal. Okay. Lord Sri Krishna said in the first verse that he first gave this knowledge to the sun god or the Surya Dev Vivaswan, and from there it came down in the disciplic succession. Like Surya Dev gave it to his son Swayambhu Vaivasvat Manu. From Vaivasvat Manu, he delivered this knowledge to his son Ishwaku, right? And Ishwaku was the same person. Like Lord Ramchandra was born in the lineage of Ishwaku, actually. Okay. So this is what like we saw in the first verse, and in this shloka especially, okay, Krishna will emphatically speak about the importance of the Guru Shishya Parampara. Okay, so why this disciplic succession is so important, and also one may ask that when Sri Krishna had already spoken this to Bhagavad Gita to Suryadev, right? So why does he need to come again and then speak it all over again in the Dwapar Yuga to Arjun? So this question will be answered in this shloka. Some important things are there, and most importantly, we will be laying more stress on the Guru Shishya Parampara, the disciplic succession. So let's go ahead and read the verse. I will share my screen, and once we read, then we can just go through some of the important points, important words in the shloka, and then we will try to analyze that. Yes. Yes, I hope you all are able to see the screen. Uh, just a second. Give me a second. Let me share again. So Bhagavad Gita, chapter number 4, verse number 2 goes like this. Evam parampara praptim imam rajarashayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yoge nashta parantapa. Once more. Evam parampara praptim Evam parampara praptam imam rajarashayo viduhu sakale neha mahata yoge nashta parantapa. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. This supreme science was thus received through the chain of disciplic succession, and the saintly kings understood it in that way. But in course of time, the succession was broken, and therefore the science as it is appears to be lost. Very important verse. We need to see and we need to understand that what Sri Krishna is trying to convey here. Okay. So let's look at some of the important words first, and then we will try to analyze the shloka. The first word is evam, thus. And Krishna is continuing, imam rajarashayo viduhu. This transcendental science means this transcendental science was received by the Rajarishis, Rajarashayo, right? So Rajarishis are the great saints and kings and men of royal order basically, and this is what we see. And even in the Dwapar Yuga, he is giving it to Arjun, who is also a member of royal family. So moving forward, we will see why this giving this knowledge to the royal order is so important. Okay, and how it was received? Parampara praptim. It was received through disciplic succession. That means it was given to one, like a knowledgeable person. That person transferred it to his disciple or his son without concocting the meaning of that knowledge. And then the person who received, they transferred it to some other people and so on, but without concocting the knowledge. So this is known as the disciplic succession. So it is coming from the Guru Shishya Parampara. One person plays the role of a spiritual master, they give it to the disciple then becomes spiritual master of some another person, and they transfer the knowledge, and so on. This science is actually propagated. So this is known as the Guru Shishya Parampara or the disciplic succession. And any transcendental science, any transcendental knowledge is transferred only through proper and bona fide Guru Shishya Parampara. Very important point, they did not receive this by speculative methods or by self-study. It is not possible. They received only through disciplic succession, through proper Guru Shishya Parampara. Because this is transcendental knowledge, this is not a knowledge of this material world, the mundane knowledge that we acquire in schools and colleges. Okay, this is spiritual knowledge. And in Bhagavad Gita, Lord Sri Krishna himself says that out of all the sciences, I am the spiritual science. Yes, so it cannot be understood, or one cannot comprehend this knowledge by one's own efforts. It is very, very important to understand. Then another important word is sakale neha mata. Okay, so but with time. Sakale neha mata means but with time. But with time, what happened? Yogo nashta parantapa. O subduer of enemy, Krishna is telling Arjun, O subduer of enemy, with time this science was lost. So Krishna comes once again to re-establish this science, to re-establish the dharma once again. Okay. So Krishna is saying that I am giving you this knowledge, O Arjun, once again. So it's very, very nice shloka, okay, through which we can learn a lot. The first thing to notice, as I mentioned earlier, that Krishna is using the term Rajarshi. Now Rajarshi means the saintly kings. So there were a lot of kings in the previous yugas, unlike those who are in Kali Yuga. Okay, so they were externally they were kings. Okay, they were the rulers of different kingdoms, but their consciousness was actually like that of a saint or sages. Okay, they were completely detached with their position, with their opulence, and they were ruling their kingdom not to enjoy the material opulence, but they ruled it as a matter of duty. So such kings were known as Rajarishis because of their consciousness. Their consciousness was like that of a rishi or a saint. So therefore they were known as Rajarishis. So this particular knowledge was actually specifically targeted for them. Okay, specifically given to them. Why? because they were in the position of a ruler. Very important point to note. Yes, they were in a position from where they were heard. And from that position, it was much, much, much easier to execute this purpose of the Bhagavad Gita. Yes, and purpose of the Bhagavad Gita is to make all the people, okay, all the subjects of the kingdom to progress steadily on the path of spirituality, to progress spiritually on the path of self-realization, okay, and ultimately help them break this cycle of birth and death and go back home, back to Sri Krishna. Right? So, see, such a scientific method, and this is the beauty of our Sanatan Dharma. And we sometimes call it mythology. It's very, very unfortunate. It's really unfortunate that we fail to understand the importance of the teachings of our Vedic scriptures, and we simply are so ignorant that we end up calling it mythology. It was always easier for a king to spread the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita across the masses. Any common man like me or some other person, what can we do? Maybe today, okay, Kali Yuga is there. We have this technology that okay, today I am sitting in front of the camera. I am addressing some of you, and I'm posting this to YouTube so a few more people can watch. But still, I'm not able to make that impact, right? But a king or a ruler was in a position where they can execute, they can, if required, they can forcibly ask people to follow some regulative principles for their own benefit, so that they can just progress on the path of spirituality. So it is always, Krishna has always maintained this, that okay, it is meant for all. This knowledge is definitely meant for everyone, but it is also specifically meant for the kings and the members of the royal order, because it is much easier to spread the message of Bhagavad Gita across the masses if it is given to the member of royal order, right? And certainly, this is never ever meant for demoniac people. So, in the Vedic scriptures, there is one very beautiful shloka. It's in Srimad Bhagavatam, which the meaning of that shloka is that if a father is not able to deliver his child from the cycle of birth and death, if a father is not able to impart the teachings to his child, so that that child progresses in spirituality and breaks the cycle of birth and death. Similarly, if a king is not able to impart that knowledge to his subjects, so that they are able to progress on the path of spirituality and break the cycle of birth and death. If a guru is not able to teach his disciples that the science of self-realization, and so that the disciples are not able to break the cycle of life and death, then such a father is not worthy of being called a father. Such a king is not worthy of being called a king, and such a guru is not worthy of being called a guru. Right? So these are the most responsible people who should be actually doing their best to teach their dependents how to progress on the path of spirituality, teach their dependents that how important this human life is, how rare this human life is, and how fortunate we are to have this human form of life. And they should also be able to tell their dependents that what is the ultimate purpose of this human life, okay, and how to achieve that goal. So all these things a father, a king, and a guru should be able to impart to his dependents. Yes, and certainly this transcendental knowledge of Bhagavad Gita is not meant for demoniac people. Okay, now when I say demoniac people, what they do is basically they interpret the teachings of Bhagavad Gita according to their own whims and fantasies. Okay, according to me, in my opinion, I think, like that. They will just put forward some philosophy, and in that process, what happens that the real teaching of Bhagavad Gita is actually lost. So such people are very, very dangerous, and we have to be uh, very cautious when we are reading the Bhagavad Gita. We should understand that who has written this Bhagavad Gita, or uh, I mean, who has explained this Bhagavad Gita. Of course, it was written by Ved Vyas and it was delivered by Sri Krishna, so we cannot rewrite it, definitely. But the purports, the explanation, who has given, who has written those things, right? It is very important to understand. Okay, such people, demoniac people, they end up concocting the message of Bhagavad Gita, which is very, very dangerous, and it generally they fool the masses of people. By doing that, the real knowledge gets lost. So when the real knowledge gets lost, Sri Krishna himself comes again, as he is saying in this verse, that this knowledge actually, the chain of disciplic succession was broken with time. So he appeared again in the Dwapar Yuga some 5,000 years back to re-establish that chain. Okay, and if the Bhagavad Gita is accepted as it is, as Sri Krishna spoke to Arjun, okay, then it is the ultimate benediction for human race. I mean, there cannot be any other benediction better than this knowledge. Because simply by reading the Bhagavad Gita and trying to implement that in our day-to-day lives, we will attain the perfection of human life. It is such a nice thing. But if you read it in a speculative way, okay, then it's simply a waste of time. Rahasyam hetaduttamam. We'll see that in the next sloka. Right? It is a mystery. We won't be able to understand that. Yes. And the best part is that our own Jagat Guru, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, he took all the trouble, okay, to translate the Bhagavad Gita word by word, carefully, with utmost care, okay, so that none of the teaching is lost and the main teaching remains intact, main teaching remains as it is, right? And that's why this is known as Bhagavad Gita as it is. And it has been translated into so many different languages, almost every major language of the world, which is spoken around the world, it has been translated into that language. And it is very easy for a person to just take a copy of Bhagavad Gita, start reading it, and start walking on the path of bhakti, self-realization. Yes. And now there is one another question which comes up, that why did Sri Krishna give this knowledge to Arjun only? Okay, he could have given it to anyone, right? What specific qualifications did Arjun have, okay, that he became eligible to get this knowledge? So the question is answered in the next verse. We'll just try to read that. Okay. So let me share my screen again and we will read the verse. So chapter number 4, verse number 3 goes like this. Sa evayam manatedya yoga proktah puratanah bhaktosi me sakha cheti rahasyam yetaduttamam. One more time. स एवायं मया तेद्य योगः प्रोक्तः पुरातनः भक्तोऽसि मे सखा चेति रहस्यं ह्येतदुत्तमम्. Translation: that very ancient science of relationship with the Supreme Lord is today told by me to you. Why? Because you are my devotee as well as my friend, and can therefore understand the transcendental mystery of this science. Very important verse. Okay, so this verse gives the qualification that an individual should have in order to understand the Bhagavad Gita. Okay, it cannot be understood by any other person. Okay, you need to have some qualifications. First of all, you need to have a qualification to read the Bhagavad Gita. Generally, what will happen that when you start reading it, you will not be able to go beyond the first chapter itself. You will find it so boring if you don't have the qualification, right? And then even if you manage to go beyond the first chapter, you end up reading the major portion of the book. Still, that knowledge is difficult to comprehend. It can be only understood in the association of devotees. It can only be understood in a Guru Shishya Parampara. Okay, that's what Sri Krishna is saying. So let's try to understand some of the key words in this shloka, and then we will try to analyze this also. Okay, so first is Sa evayam maya tedya. I am giving you. This is what Krishna is telling Arjuna. I am giving you. Giving you what? Yoga. Yoga means science of transcendental knowledge. Yoga in Sanskrit, it means science. Okay. So that science of transcendental knowledge, I am giving it to you. And prokta, I am telling you. Telling you what? This science of yoga is puratanaha. It's very ancient, right? It's puratana. And why I am giving it to you? Most important part of this shloka. Bhaktosi, you are my devotee, you are my bhakta. And sakhacheti, you are my friend. So these two are the qualifications which Arjun had. And that is the reason why he was eligible to get this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita from Sri Krishna. He was a devotee of Krishna and he was his friend. So someone might say that, okay, being a devotee and a friend is a very good qualification, obviously, okay. But then what is the problem in giving it to others? I mean, we can just distribute it just like that. No, 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 no. That's what Krishna is saying. No, that's not possible. Why? Rahasyam. Because it is a rahasya. It's a mystery. Rahasyam hyetad uttamam. This is very confidential or mysterious transcendental knowledge that we have. Yes. So even if you try to give it to someone who is not a devotee of Krishna or who is not in a friendly disposition towards Krishna, they will not be able to understand this knowledge. They will not be able to comprehend that. Yes. So Arjun, he is saying that, oh Arjun, you need to understand the mystery of this transcendental science which I am going to tell you. Okay? It cannot be understood by people who are not my devotees and who are not in a friendly disposition towards me. This is very important. Okay. So, in this wonderful verse, Lord Sri Krishna is telling us who can actually understand the Bhagavad Gita. So, two qualifications are given here. Bhakta, that means one should be a devotee of Krishna. Second, Sakha, that means they should be a friend of Krishna. Without these two qualifications, it is simply impossible to understand. Why? Because Rahasyam Hetad Uttamam. It is a transcendental mystery. We won't be able to understand that. Even if we try to do that by our own speculative methods, by our own efforts, it will simply be a wastage of time. That's it. Okay. So there are several versions of Bhagavad Gita available today. We have to be very, very careful when we choose that which Bhagavad Gita to read. Okay. Some of them are commentaries by devotees, and some of them are by non-devotees or materialistic people. Okay. And some like dry philosophical speculators, they make some commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita. So even from demoniac people who simply want to make some money, they are also just encashing this popularity of Bhagavad Gita by giving some some of their commentaries on this transcendental science. We have to be very, very careful. So now, see, need to understand one thing. When I say the word demoniac, okay, or demon, doesn't mean that a person should be very fierce looking with two horns coming out of his head and all those things. Okay, like the way we depict in the movies or on the TVs, right? It's not that. Demoniac means the attitude of the person. Okay, the attitude of rejecting God and simply enjoying the things which God has provided to us. Okay, so such a person with such kind of a mindset or such propensities is known as a demoniac person. Okay, and the commentaries made by devotees basically are very, very useful. Okay, and someone who is not a devotee of Krishna, if they are making some commentaries, then it's just useless. It's a wastage of time. So Arjun accepted Sri Krishna as the supreme personality of Godhead, and therefore the commentary on the Bhagavad Gita following on the footsteps of Arjun is a devotional service. And anyone who does not follow on the footsteps of Arjun, they try to concoct the meaning of the Bhagavad Gita. They try to give their own, you know, try and their own understanding, which they have not received from any bona fide spiritual master. Just out of their own philosophical speculation, they are trying to give something. Then, that is not a genuine commentary, or that is simply a wastage of time. You won't be able to understand the actual philosophy or actual content of the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. So they concoct something about Sri Krishna, the core teachings are concocted, and then they will end up leading the masses of people, nothing else. They'll just cause disruption in the society with such kind of teachings. And this is the very reason why we lay so much stress on the bona fide disciplic succession. That Bhagavad Gita can be understood only by a true devotee of Sri Krishna. A true devotee means a devotee who is coming in a proper Guru Sishya Parampara. Okay? They, it can be like, a person is there, he is speaking on the Bhagavad Gita, but then that person has learnt it from his spiritual master, and his spiritual master has learnt it from his spiritual master, and this chain goes on and it ends up in Brahma and then Lord Sri Krishna. Okay, we should be able to trace down that lineage, and our ISKCON, the International Society of Krishna Consciousness, is a bona fide Guru Sishya Parampara, because simply by tracing back, okay, uh, even like from any initiated devotee, you can trace back up to Lord Sri Krishna. That chain is unbroken. Yes. So that is the reason why we lay so much stress, because in that way this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita will not be lost. It will never be concocted, because it will be just transmitted as it is to subsequent generations. Yes, and only then we will be able to benefit from this beautiful science. Otherwise, it's simply a wastage of time. Okay, and now the question is that how can one become a devotee of Sri Krishna? The answer is very simple: chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Chanting the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, what it does is that it slowly and steadily removes all the demoniac mentality that we have, and it removes it completely. There is no question of removing it partially. कि ठीक है, थोड़ा सा हट गया, थोड़ा बाकी है, like that. It's not like that. It will simply purify you completely inside out. Okay, and automatically the wonderful devotee qualities. Okay, it will start manifesting within that person, within the heart of that person. And when that happens, then the person is ready to receive the transcendental knowledge of the Bhagavad Gita. Yes. And in this way, this knowledge can be attained only by the devotees of Sri Krishna. Only the devotees can get this knowledge. Okay. And when we have this eagerness, okay, see, first of all, we need to understand that first of all, we need to have some brains to understand that, okay, I am in this material world and this is not a good place to be in. And I want to attain Sri Krishna, go back home, back to Sri Krishna. Okay. And when I want to serve him there eternally, where there is no kuntha or misery, I want to be in such a place. So when a person utilizes his brain to analyze all this, and then they are eager to know how can I do that? How can I go break this cycle of birth and death? How can I go back to Sri Krishna? Then they become eligible. That this knowledge is given to them. Automatically this will happen. You will not have to, fight for this. Okay. They will be able to understand this knowledge. So only thing is that you need to utilize this brain, understand who am I, what is the purpose of my life, how can I break the cycle of birth and death, how can I go back home, back to Sri Krishna, who is God or who is Sri Krishna, what is my relationship with him. If all these questions are there and this desire, that burning desire is there in our hearts to understand all these, the answer to all these questions, okay, then at that time Krishna will send you, a person, or by some means that you will be end up that you will end up getting this knowledge. Either a devotee will enter your life and through him you will get this knowledge, okay, or someone will come and hand you over the copy of Bhagavad Gita as it is in your hand, and you will end up reading that. Yes. So Krishna will take care, basically. All we need to have is that burning desire to understand, the basic concepts of self-realization. Yes. So bhaktosi me sakha cheti. So these are the two qualifications that we need to have. Yes. And now when Sri Krishna tells Arjun, he had a very interesting question. Arjun had a very interesting question. What was that? He tells Sri Krishna that, okay, Krishna, tell me one thing. You said that you have first given this knowledge to Suryadev Vivaswan. Yes. And but at the same time, we are contemporaries, right? We belong to the same time, we belong to the same chronology, and you are my friend, right? And Surya God, Suryadev or Sun God, he is very much senior to us. He is much older to us. So how come you have given this knowledge to him? Yes. So very interesting question Arjun has asked Sri Krishna, and Krishna will answer this question in the next verse, and that we will see in the next session. So thank you so much, all of you again, once again, for joining this wonderful session. I like, reading this word verse by verse, and it's a very, very interesting topic. Chapter number 4. We are going to come across some very important verses here. Okay, and please, stay tuned. We will keep coming up with more lectures every week. And if there are any questions, I am pretty sure that some of you will have a lot of questions. So please feel free to, post them in the comment section. If I find that question very important and a very generic one, that such a question can be in the minds of many people, then I'll try to create a video out of it. And those who want a little bit of more personalized interaction with me, then we also have a WhatsApp group. You can please come and join that WhatsApp group. You are most welcome. The link to that WhatsApp group is provided in the comment section below. Okay, in the description box below, sorry. And just click on that link, join the group. There are many devotees, and we discuss spiritual question and answers over here. So if you have any queries, you can simply post that in the group. Since I am a part of that group, you can have a more personalized interaction with me. Yes. So yeah, that's it for this session. Next week we will try to cover another two shlokas, preferably. I would prefer to cover two shlokas, but let's see what time permits. But definitely, at least one we will definitely cover. And yeah, then see you all next week. Till then, thank you so much. Hare Krishna.